Hello students, let us learn the first topic from standard 8th general science, living world and classification of microbes. We see variety of living organisms on the earth. They differ from each other in their size, shapes, body parts, life habitats, which leads to a biodiversity. Now let us study what is biodiversity. The variety that we see in the living organisms is called as a biodiversity. Now the question arises that why there is a need of a classification. There are about 87 species of living organisms that are found on earth. To study such a vast number, it was essential to divide them into groups. This process of dividing living organisms into groups and subgroups is called biological classification. Various scientists have tried to make this classification. Carl Linnaeus in 1735 dividing living world in two kingdoms, that is kingdom Vegetalia and kingdom Animalia. In 1866 Haeckel considered three kingdoms, kingdom Protista, plants and animals. In 1925 Chetan was the scientist who made two groups, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. In 1938 Copeland divided living organisms into four kingdoms. But there was an American ecologist, Robert Whittaker, who divided living organisms into five groups in 1969 based on the following criteria. The first criteria was complexity of a cell structure. So that is prokaryotic or eukaryotic. Second criteria was the complexity of organisms. Some of the organisms are unicellular while some are multicellular. Then the next criteria was the mode of nutrition. It is plants which are autotrophic as they are photosynthetic, they can make their own food. Fungi which are saprophytic, they absorb food from dead organisms, and animals which are heterotrophic and ingestive. Fourth criteria was plants which are considered as producers, animals which consumes the food made by the plants, and fungi which are treated as decomposers. And the last fifth criteria was the phylogenetic relationship, either from prokaryotic to eukaryotic or unicellular to multicellular. Let us consider the classification of animals by a flowchart. Living organisms are classified into two categories, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. But eukaryotes are again classified into two categories, unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular prokaryotes has one kingdom, that is kingdom Monera. Unicellular eukaryotes has kingdom Protista. And multicellular eukaryotes are again classified into three categories, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Let us study one by one. The first is kingdom Monera. All types of bacteria and blue-green algae are included in the kingdom Monera. Here are some examples. Legionella pneumoniae, Clostridium botulinum, Clostridium tetani, Streptococcus pneumoniae, Vibrio cholerae, Salmonella typhi, Staphylococcus aureus, and Treponema pallidum. These are the few examples from kingdom Monera. Now let us study the characteristics of kingdom Monera. The first characteristic is all the organisms are unicellular. Second, they may be autotrophic or heterotrophic. That is, either they can make their own food or they are dependent on others for food. Third is, these are prokaryotic cells without distinct nucleus or cell organelles. The second is kingdom Protista. So some examples are Volvox, amoeba, Paramecium, Euglena. Characteristics of class Protista. Protista are single-celled organisms with well-defined nucleus enclosed in a nuclear membrane. They have pseudopodia or hair-like cilia or flagella which are useful for locomotion. Euglena volvox contains chloroplast, that's why they can make their own food, that's why they are autotrophic protista, while amoeba and paramecium are heterotrophic protista. Now let us consider the next kingdom, that is kingdom fungi. Characteristics of class fungi. Fungi are non-green eukaryotic heterotrophic organisms. As they are non-green, they cannot make their own food. Most of them are saprotrophs. They feed upon decaying organic matter. Their cell wall is made up of a tough and complex sugar called as chitin. Some fungi are thread-like and many nuclei are present in the cytoplasm. For example, Baker's yeast, Aspergillus, Penicillium, mushroom. These are some examples of fungi. Next point is classification of microbes. Among all the living organisms, microorganisms are largest in number. That's why they are also classified as follows. Microorganisms are classified into two categories, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes has only one type of microbe, that is bacteria, but eukaryotes are classified again into three categories, protista, fungi and algae. As microbes are too small to be seen by our naked eyes, micrometer and nanometer are the units used to measure them. Let us study bacteria. Bacteria are of various shapes like coccus, Coccobacillus, Bacillus, Vibrio or Spirillum. Their size is about 1 micrometer to 10 micrometer. Bacteria are unicellular, independent, parasitic organisms. These are prokaryotic with cell wall but distinct nucleus or cell organelles are absent. They reproduce by simple binary fission. In favorable conditions, bacteria grow vigorously and can double their number in just 20 minutes. Protozoa. So two examples of that are Paramecium and Entamoeba. Their size is about 200 micrometer. Protozoans are found in soil, fresh water and seawater. Some are found in the body of other organisms which are pathogenic. These are unicellular organisms with eukaryotic cell. These organisms reproduce by single cell division, that is, one cell is divided in other two cells. Here are some examples. Amoeba and Paramecium which live in dirty water, Entamoeba histolytica which causes amoebiasis, Plasmodium vivax which causes malaria, and Euglena is autotrophic protozoa. Next, fungi. The size is about 10 micrometer to 100 micrometer. These are found on decaying organic matter and dead bodies of plants and animals. These are eukaryotic organisms. Some of them are unicellular and others are visible with naked eyes also. These are saprotrophic. They absorb their food from decaying organic matter. For example, Baker's yeast, Candida, mushroom. The next type of microbe is algae. Its size is about 10 micrometer to 100 micrometer. These are aquatic, that is, these are found underwater. These are eukaryotic, unicellular and autotrophic organisms as they can make their own food. Photosynthesis is carried out with the help of chloroplast, which is present in the cell of algae. That's why they are autotrophic. For example, Chlorella chlamydomonas. Very few species of algae are unicellular. Most of them are multicellular and visible with naked eyes. We can observe them in wet or damp places around us. Viruses. The size is about approximately 10 nanometer to 100 nanometers. Generally, viruses are not considered as living organisms. They are studied under the special branch of science called as microbiology. Viruses are extremely minute. As they are very small in size, they need electron microscope to be seen. So they can be seen only with electron microscope. Virus is a long molecule of DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, or RNA, that is ribonucleic acid. Viruses survive only in living plant or animal cells. Viruses cause many diseases to plants and animals. Hope you understand the topic. Thanks for watching.